Hi, Melissa here, and I'm back after a bit of a break for another Child Free Friday. I'm aware that it may not even be Friday. It's not Friday here, it's Saturday night, but I wanted to share this layout anyway. It's one that I made a couple of weeks ago, and the reason it's taken me so long is because I've been really busy with work and things have calmed down a little bit, so I've finally got time to record this voiceover. So here is the layout that I'm making, and it's a couple of photos that our oldest son Sam took. He took them on my DSLR, and we'd gone to our local park in town earlier in the year, so in January, which is our summer. And I took some photos of the kids, and then I let him have a play. He always asks if he can have a turn with my camera, and these are the two photos that he took. So, whilst it was a child-free video, these are child's photos, so I guess that still qualifies. So I started with that border strip there, and that's off one of the crepe paper pieces. And I noticed that my photos, even though they are 4x6, they don't equal the full 12 inches across. So you'll see here I put it on crooked, but I'll put it back on again, and I'll have to remedy that later on. So at this point I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but as the layout progresses I do decide what to do. So I wasn't going to do any mixed media, but I thought this needs a little something. So I'm doing the packaging technique, and I'm really into my watercolours with this kit. I went through a real big Heidi Swapp colour shine phase, and at this point I was still loving my watercolours. And I think it's because you can get the colour you want by mixing, and it's just really simple and easy. So this is the only layout I think that I made with this kit, and it's my June hit kit, that I've used the packaging technique. I'm really into splattering at the moment, and multicoloured splatters. So I've just set that aside to dry, and I have this area where the sun just comes through this window, and so I just put things down there in the sun, and they dry really quickly. So there you would have seen me about to trim off that overhang, and then I realised, no, I better not do that, because the paper I'm going to use, which is American Crafts white cardstock, is a 12 by 12, so I don't want to go and limit myself with my design, because I do want that to go all the way across. So that's a piece of crepe paper from Poolside. The other side is yellow and white, and this side is an off-white with blue crosses, and I just love it. It's gorgeous. So I needed a bit of separation from the cardstock and the photos, so that's why I've put that at the top. And oh, there's the back there, you can see. So I didn't put it on straight, and because those crosses are straight, it annoys me, so I've got to go back and redo it again and again. And it can be a bit tricky sometimes. I find that the printer where I get these printed, I do it online, send them away, and then they send me the photos. Sometimes they are not equally 4x6, they could be a little bit crooked, so it's just working around that. Sometimes I need to trim them. So here I'm wanting to frame these two little cute ducklings and really draw the eye into the centre of that photo. So I'm going through those frames, I think they're by crepe paper, and I'm trying to select the one that works the best with the colours. Now, I also think, it's been so long, I'm sorry, but I've put a filter over these photos in PicMonkey, and that's why they've got that warm tone to them, which works really well with this entire kit, and especially the Poolside collection and also the Fancy Pants collection, the bits and pieces. And I managed to film this entire layout while my youngest was up, and she was just playing about. She took one of my watercolour pens, and she was painting with water on the windows, so she was busy, and so was I. Normally, while I'm scrapbooking or even at my craft table, she opens up all my drawers and pulls everything out, which is interesting, and sometimes she even embellishes herself. And I'll probably have some photos to scrap coming up showing you exactly what I mean. So now I'm wanting to build some areas of embellishment, and because this is a very linear horizontal design, I want to bring in a bit more movement. So that's why I'm putting things on an angle and I'm having bits hanging over the top. And the thing about living in the southern hemisphere is that we have the total opposite to what you guys have. So as well as the word vacation, which we don't use, we say holiday. So what I'm having to do is just hide elements that don't work for down here. So you have, I think is it June, July, August are your summer months? Well, for us, they're our coldest winter months, obviously, they're the opposite. So there were some transparent circles, well, not transparent, more opaque, and I haven't used them in this layout, I've used them already. And the only way I can use them, because I've got those months written on them, is to tuck them under and hide the words. So I don't ever let the fact that we have different spelling or we have different seasons to you. No, what I'm saying is we have the opposite season to what you're having at the moment. So I don't want to let myself not use those embellishments. I need to make them work for me. So that one, what I'm trying to say is that little one with summer had the word vacation on it, so I've just tucked it under so you can't actually see the full part of vacation. So here I'm having to deal now with the fact that I don't have full width of 12 inches for my photos, and I was about to cut it off there, but then I realised that there needs to be something between the photos and that plus paper now, so I've trimmed some of that. That's actually the other side of that paper, and there are quite faint lines on that plus paper, and so you can actually trim along without having to use a trimmer, which is always good. So you can see that looks a lot better now. It's more cohesive with that scallop border pattern on the bottom. What I did cut out was me trying to put something on the right side there to cover up the fact that there's a little strip. But in the end, I've decided to trim it down, and it doesn't matter when it goes in the album if the page behind it is a little bit more. It doesn't bother me. But I can't have it how it was with just that tiny strip of white. So that's a lot better. And now I'm popping up that little S tag, which is perfect because S for Sam and summer and snaps. And there I'm just making sure the rest of that camera is down. Those stars, I don't know if I've already said this, but those stars were probably the whole reason that I got the embellishment kit. I just love them. And I know you can use stars on a boy or girl layout, but I think they're really perfect for a boy kind of layout. And because these are photos that Sam took, this page will go into his album. And I've got some other photos of him in the park as well as his sisters. And so I'll be scrapping them, and the two photos of him will go side by side with this page. I'm going through the wood veneers, and they're probably the things that I found the hardest to use up this time. And I'm just pulling some to see if I can make them work. I'm not quite sure if I do or not, because it's been a while since I made this one. And here's what I've got left. So those crepe paper poolside buttons and enamel dots and brads, they are just gorgeous and very hoardable. But this time, as I've said in past, if I'm working from a kit, I want to do my best to absolutely use as much as possible. I have this thing with tags where I have to change the way that they're threaded if they're pre-threaded. I like the loop to go the opposite to the way that these fancy pants tags came. And that one was just, it was too clean for this design, so I needed something a bit more grungy, so I've gone back to that crepe paper ephemera. And in typical Melissa fashion, I'm jumping around with my embellishments. I tend to work on all parts of a layout at the same time. I love those stars that had the little star that you could pop out from the middle. There was only one of each colour. I wish they'd put more on, because I just love the difference that having that cut out star adds to the page. And here I'm deciding that I am going to put that tag there. And I find that with double-sided tape, if you're quick, you can peel up whatever element you've stuck down and quickly tuck whatever you want underneath, and then it needed a little bit of Tombow on the edge there to stick it down. And I can't leave a tag unthreaded, so that little one there, I don't know if it was meant to be a tag, but it's got a hole, so if it's got a hole in it, I'm going to put thread in. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm using the other piece that I've cut for that tag at the bottom. And if you're wondering why I've got that little clothespin, it's just to hold that glue down while it dries. And now I'm just fussing around with that cluster at the bottom. If I don't overthink it, normally my first instinct is correct, so not that there's rules, but you know what I mean. I can spend ages agonising over where to put things, but normally where I put them to start with is where they end up. So there I'm just adding some extra tape because sometimes I like my papers to sit up and show and look like they're stacked, I guess, but in this case I want it to lie flat. And now I'm just trying to work out where to put the rest of that tag, and it's not really working, so I'll put that aside and I'm sure I'll use it on another layout. Decided to put that wood veneer in the centre of the camera. And now I'm looking at these. These are amazing. I love it that our hit kits get these kind of thickers, or in this instance they are chipboard words. And you do, well, I find that I do have to add a bit of glue behind them because they're not really that sticky. And now I'm finally cutting into these in a navy foam thickers, and I love foam. And I love that these thickers come with upper and lower case, which is great. Now I'm not going to show you all of this, but I'm wanting to call this layout Sam's Summer Snaps, and I was going to put the word snaps underneath summer, but with the water of the pond and the navy blue of the thickers, it was just getting a bit lost. So I've moved it over to there, and I'm nearly done. So I'm happy with how that title is looking. And now I'm adding my journaling just along the line. And I'm just saying about how he took the photos, how I let him borrow my camera, and what great photos he has. And so that's the final layout, and I've got some close-ups coming. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry I've been away. Welcome to my new subscribers, and I will be back soon because I filmed another layout today. See you soon. Bye.